All right. Hey, everybody. Crazy Rock God is here. I am sitting here with Davy Williamson. We're going to do this very cool interview that we probably should have recorded like the past hour of conversation.
Had a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time. So you have new music coming out. I'm excited. I played the one song already, but you guys are in for a special treat. I get a special song.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Now he's quiet.
I'm questioning my actions, Dawn.
Don't question that.
Should I release this yet? You know what? It's done. Let's do it. The Rock Goddess, baby.
Too late. You already sent it to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Be quiet. Be quiet. Don't tell my manager that.
Hopefully they're not watching or listening.
Eye in the sky.
Yeah. You joke, but anyway, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell everybody else a little bit about yourself. Like we just had this whole conversation.
Yeah. So to not try to repeat myself.
No, you can repeat yourself. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. So I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina. I grew up as a musician, born in Plant City, Florida.
Oh, I didn't know about the Florida thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too. And in fact, I actually graduated high school from Florida as well, out of a small town called Perry, Florida, right outside of Tallahassee, at a music venue Tallahassee that was popular, that I used to see shows at, called Floyd's.
Oh yeah.
Floyd's. Yeah, super cool spot. Lots of bands came through, lots of influence from me, lots of dreams to continue to pursue a music career where it had kind of fallen to the side. I had originally started playing music around 15, 16 years old. I jumped headfirst into it like an idiot. And
we all jump headfirst into things.
Yeah, you know what? We and all of us people that are in this industry seem to be head first and jump right into what they need to do and what's going on. So I'm just happy to be able to play music and had listened to good music that kept me after it and continued driving forward and wanted to pursue a career in music.
You don't look nearly as battered and bruised as I'm sure your insides feel after all of years in this business.
My insides feel terrible. You know what? I feel as good and as best as I can right now, after all the time and all the money and the tears spent in trying to pursue a career in the music industry. And though I've been able to hang on by the seat of my pants,
COVID's been a bitch.
COVID's been a bitch. Now that everything's slowed down, now that everything's slowed down and kind of been just a hell path to stay alive with doing music, it is kind of what it is at this point. And I'm hoping to release some music and catch some traction between now and when things reopen, and maybe at that point I'll be able to play for the fans and the people that are out there. So,
but we're all like in the same place trying to reinvent a wheel at this point.
Yeah,
because nobody really like we were talking, I'm excited for festival season again this year so I can get the hell out of, I live in hell, also known as Arizona, and I don't want to be here in the summer again. But I mean, if things don't, let's hope everything clears up and we can all do this better this time. Because I don't know, we were having that conversation about this business and how difficult it is to get people to go to shows.
This stuff right here. This is what I always
Yeah.
I took my dog out of my room.
Yeah, my dog was shaking the bed like a crazy person, so.
Always a good time. No, but the whole reinventing the wheel, hopefully when everything does open back up, people are going to be wanting to go to shows, I hope.
Yeah, yeah, I hope they are too. I'm just, I think that they will. I think once everybody feels protected again or has the opportunity to say, okay, this is past. I think it's going to be a slow process, but I think at some point people are going to go, okay, let's go for it. And when they do, I hope to be on the front side of that. With a lot of the major labels not releasing and a lot of the bands that are under major labels not touring, I think that it's given me an opportunity to kind of come out front as as far as whether it be radio, whether it be through YouTube, whether it be social media, whether it be through Rock Rage Radio, and with you, Dawn, that I get the opportunities to kind of stand out front and try to push the music in a digital format. Or whereas a lot of these guys don't have the support by the labels to go out and tour behind it. It's like all of a sudden we're all on the same playing field.
Yeah, right now everybody's kind of. It's been an interesting thing to watch who's adapted and who has not. So like some people have done online shows and they're fabulous. Like I'm not shy about telling people I love Bad Flower. They've done 2 online shows that were actually on a stage. Nobody was there, but still it was live, honest. It was really good.
Yeah, Bad Flower is awesome. I just got into them.
Haven't bothered to even try to adapt. They just disappear.
Right.
Like, okay, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna come back in 2 years and pick up where you left off?
Right. Yeah, that's the thing about music. It doesn't have legs like that.
No.
So you don't just drop a single and then go, well, I'll see you in a couple of years.
Yeah, I'll see you in a couple of years, yeah.
Yeah, I hope you guys still show up to my show from the single I
Right?
released a year ago. You know, it's not typically how it works. You got to get out and really pound the pavement and make things happen from there. So.
Well, and I think it's been interesting to watch some of the adaptation that's happening, right? So, okay, we all know club shows, at least recently in the recent past, don't do fabulous. I mean, it depends on who it is, obviously, but you know, up and coming bands don't do as well. They just don't because nobody promotes properly. We've had that conversation. But like the adaptation, like you had some people that are doing drive-in shows, probably not the best in the world. There was a festival here at the end, like October.
In Phoenix?
Yeah. They did like a biker fest. Fabulous setup. I went to go look and see what the setup was because it was the first time anybody had really tried to, with all of this being what it is. They have like these weird little, instead of just the gate that keeps you from the stage, they have these little kind of like a pod things. It was kind of neat. I didn't stick around. I just looked at it. I didn't stay for the show because I'm still just not ready for that. But I mean, they had people 6 feet away from each other and it was outside, so maybe. I don't know. And nobody really knows what to do.
Yeah, you know I don't think anybody does. I've seen a couple instances where people they have tables that are 6 foot away from each other, and then they try to fill the venue like that. And that's just not, to me, it's just not a rock show. And I've never seen a rock show
here. Right, there's shows here still right now. They're trying. I'm not. First of all, I would have felt okay about the outside, being 6 feet away from people and all.
Me too.
I probably would have felt good about that, but I'm not ready for inside a bar with. Like, look, man, shows are great. People are allowed to drink. It's a good time, but we all know what happens at a show, and I don't need somebody right here screaming in my face.
No, we don't.
No.
Like, hi.
Yeah, no. I just don't see how that's a successful.
I'm giving out live COVID
right
test
now.
myself, right?
Yeah. Like, drunk people spit a lot too, so no. Like, it's funny. How many different things have you realized that you just did on a regular basis that you think of now and you go, oh my God, I never thought there was so much disease in that until now.
So,
like, even just shows, think about that for a minute. Like, we never had a problem with it until this happened. And then you're like, ooh, do I want to be that close to somebody? No.
You know, This is a great question because I mean, it shows you just don't care whether it be, somebody smoking a joint and they pass it to you at the show.
I've had that
Whether it
conversation
be,
too.
whether it be somebody's like chugging their beer and then, people
Here,
are just
have a
like, yeah,
drink.
give it to me.
Yeah.
Or even while on stage, you pass down your beer,
Mhm.
or just every facet of it now, there's caution to be had. And I think with
Which
that
is
caution to
weird.
be had, it's scary in the sense it's like I'm not the one giving someone else this
Yeah.
COVID deal, and that's
Yeah,
scary
no,
because you
that's
never know who they're gonna come across and what's gonna happen, because if they end up giving it to somebody and then it's like you're the
you killed
dude
somebody's
on
grandma.
stage
Yeah.
signing off like a
Yeah.
paper, you hand it them, they're like, oh, well, then I touched the paper, then you had COVID, then I killed my
Mhm.
grandma. It's like, damn, dude, that gets
Yeah,
serious all
no.
of a sudden. So you want to make sure that you're not putting other people at risk
I
more
figure
than.
hopefully we only have maybe 6 more months of this. And it's looking like maybe 6 months.
That's what they're saying, but I just don't know.
I don't know. Here's the funny thing is I was very adverse to the idea of such a speedy vaccine. Because it usually takes a really long time. But it's interesting to find out how much red tape there actually is in creating things like that. That if you
Right.
take that away, all of the extra bullshit, the extra red tape and stuff, they still
Right.
I guess did all of the testing and stuff that needed to be done, just without the stupid red tape. You go, wow, how come that doesn't happen all the time?
Right. Yeah, I just don't know.
I know. I mean,
The whole thing's just it's just been such a
clusterfuck.
head mess that I still don't know. I don't know answers, and I don't want to say anything out of context because I have no idea what I'm talking about when it
No,
comes
we're
to
not.
that.
I'm not a doctor.
Right, and I just hope that we get through this whole mess and we're able to get back out and get to doing live shows again,
I
because
miss my friends.
genuinely I think people want it.
Oh
And
God, I miss my friends more than I think I even miss music, because we
yeah,
all have that, right? Like you go to a show, and there's people that I only see at shows. Like
right,
I don't go hang
right.
out with them anywhere else. Just we see each other at shows, but I miss them. Like I see them online, and I'm like, well, we all miss each other. We'll never get
Yeah.
together and do anything, but
I think it's going to come back. And I mean, who am I to say? But I like to have a positive plan in my head. So
just think when everybody doesn't have to worry about cooties anymore, how many hugs everybody's gonna give each other.
got cuties.
I miss hugs. I miss hugs. Thankfully I'm married, so like if I need it, even though my husband is like super antisocial, so he only hugs me because he has to.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna stay out of that one too.
Well, I told you he has 5-finger death punch tattooed on his
You did
arm.
mention this. You
I
did
did.
mention that. Yeah.
Just
Well,
trying to live my motherfucking life. Yep, that's pretty much
yeah.
his motto.
Tell me about it. Me and him both.
I think that's
So
all of us. Just leave me alone. Let me do my music thing. And
yeah, just
so tell me,
yeah.
what inspired you to write the stuff that you wrote this time?
For the single that I
Talk
just
about this yet.
so yeah, we haven't gone here. So are we discussing the single that was just
Sure.
released? Yeah, so for the single just released, I like to leave it up to the person listening. I'm an advocate of trying not to be so clear about exactly what reasoning behind it, because I think music is has a healing power for those that interpret what it means to them.
Yeah. Everybody
Um,
interprets stuff different.
yeah, but I feel like when I go and I lay it out for what it is, maybe it's my own flaw of not knowing how to explain it without going, you know what? Bleh. I'm just going to tell you exactly what it's about, and I don't think it gives off the right attitude a lot of times if I'm the one that has to explain it.
Yeah.
through a lot of the reviews over just the single Thin Disguise that's come back, I've watched through different avenues how people interpret the song.
Mm-hmm.
And some think it's about me and like a lover in an argument. Some think of it's like me and like addiction with drugs. And
really,
some people think it's me with this, and some people think it's me with that. And I'd rather just leave it to the listener to be able to make a decision based on what they think the song's about, versus me have to go into detail specifically and say, look, the song's X. I'd like for people to take it initially, since it's new, and interpret what it makes them think and the way it makes them feel, and use this as an avenue for healing purposes of some sort.
So are you the kind of person that can just sit down and write a song just any time, or do you need something to inspire you?
Good question.
I'm pretty good at this job, you know.
I can see that. I can see that.
Just wait till I get to the fun ones. You said you want.
Yeah, I feel like these aren't even the ones that I'm gonna get hit over the head with yet. But I think that the biggest part of it is that I have the ability to be able to sit down and I can sketch out. I kind of chicken scratch ideas, and then I like to go back and I refine the ideas with the ways that I really feel. So I define each kind of idea. I define it, and when I define it, then I figure out a way to turn it relative, like as a relative term, so that I'm not being direct. Kind of to, if we go back one question, I don't want to get if I said exactly the way I felt and the way that I wanted to say things, my album would just sound like a lot of me cussing and being.
I was just
angry.
that's life. I think everybody's whole life, if you just had to go by how you felt at that moment, it'd be like, God.
I'd have like 2 stress balls in my hand just going nuts. But yeah, I don't. In any way, the way that I go about writing it is, I bring it from a true place, a true life experience. Sometimes I've had the ability to be able to use somebody else's life experience and write a song, and I do it from a caring place for them, so that it gives them something or a place of solace to say, oh wow, this was done for me. And I think that's the greatest gift of all with music, is that to be able to give somebody something that means something to them, that helps them through a time of grief or despair, really means a lot to me. And I think that's what keeps me in music and keeps me driven to continue to do it.
So you can just sit and write a song whenever, or do you need the inspiration?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, from my experiences growing up and even till today, I have a very vivid imagination, and a way to translate that onto paper. And then I've figured out a way to make it easier for me to be able to then make it relative, so that I'm not being so direct, so I don't feel so vulnerable.
Interesting. That's it. Everybody does everything so different. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have some people that they have to write as they go, or they'll lose the feeling to be able to transfer it into lyrics or whatever. And then some people that can just sit down anytime and they're like, oh, I'm in the studio, let's just knock this out. So
yeah. In fact, one of the songs off of the EP that's coming up, I wrote it on the spot in the studio, lyric and song, all within probably about a 4-hour span. But then, of course, naturally, I had to build the song at that point. But I had written the skeleton of the song, chord, progression, everything that was happening from point A to point B, and then lyrically point A to point B.
And then you tweak it 800 times. Sorry, I'm just giving you.
Well, it's good that you do, because you're right. And any musicians that are listening or paying attention, you guys all know what I'm talking about. Then you go back and you say 800, but I'd venture to say it's about 1,600 times. Probably. I go back and forth and try to correct every little piece.
This is the one. No.
Yeah, is that the one? Yeah.
No,
Well, you gotta. It's like, well, I don't know about the intro. Well, I don't know about my vocal line here. Well, I don't know about this melody. I don't know about this harmony. I don't know about this guitar line. What about a guitar solo?
Well, what's funny is like if anybody understands it, I'm probably one of those people. When I first started doing this job, I had a once a week show at nighttime when I first started with Rock Rage a gazillion years ago, it seems like. And so I would record my thing, and it was like one big chunk, and it was like 2 hours of whatever the hell I wanted to do. And when I first started, like I always think I sound stupid recorded. Always. I hate my voice recorded, hate it. B,
I think we all do.
Yeah. B, I would record my talking part and then go, that was just, or I'd screw something up in the middle and then just start all the way over instead of just now. It's like, oh, if I screw up a word or whatever when I'm talking, I'm like, whatever, moving on, because nobody cares and they like to, not that they don't care, but I think it kind of shows your humanity to some extent to be like, yeah, look, man, I'm on the air and I screw up all the time. Try not to shoot me.
I think that goes back to the vulnerability part of it. Is at some point the art is completed and the vulnerability needs to begin.
Yeah.
I think that happens with recording and writing songs in general. And I think that's the beauty of music as a whole. If everybody just refined it, or a great example, Pro Tools and it to death and auto tune, and I think what that ends up doing is killing the realness of the music.
Yeah.
And it's something that'll tear music apart from beginning a few years back till today. I think that what happens is it takes away anything real about it. And then people lose connection with the person who's actually singing it. There needs to be passion there. There needs to be relevance, and there needs to be a sense of real. So they feel like they're with another person, whether it be in front of them or not, or be through the radio or not, or whether it be through a music video or not.
Well, we sort of had this conversation a little bit. I think that I think we sort of had this conversation. Some like bands that look like they crawled out of an RV. So which part of the spectrum are you on? Are you on the hold on, I'm going to show up, I'm going to get dressed, I'm going to warm up, I'm going to get into my Zen area, and then I'm going to go play? Or are you, I rolled out of the truck, I smoked a dope doob, let's play? Like, there's a place for both of those things.
I think that another great question. So I think that
his job.
Yeah, I see that. So for me, I kind of try to dig deep and do and give the best performance that I can. I don't think that it's like, let me fall out of my 18-passenger bus in Tucson, Arizona, and then fall out, and then I'm missing a guitar string, and I get up there and just bang away on it and half-ass the show, and then expect everybody to pay $50 a ticket. I think that what needs to happen is for the exchange of the financial support to see an artist or a band or whomever it may be, I think that the same reciprocation should take place. Like, it should be like, I'm gonna make it worth your while to see something that's worthwhile to see.
Right.
If you're spending that kind of money, you expect a certain caliber of artistic ability.
I don't think it matters if you spent $5 to see a band or if you spent $100 to see a band. They should be up there to try to impress you to come back when they are going to be $50, $100 ticket. You know what I mean?
Which is why you should attack it the same way right away. You should go at it when there's no. I learned a lesson many moons ago, which was play the same as if there's 50,000 people there, as if there's 5 people there. And I've gained.
Because in the beginning,
I've gained a lot
people.
of fans. I've gained a lot of friends. I've gained a lot of people that love the shit out of me nowadays that have become super close friends because of that exact scenario.
Yeah.
Where I didn't even know them, but by the end of the show, they were just like, dude, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm like, dude, there's 5 people here. They're like, I don't give a shit how many people are here.
There's
Like,
5 people here.
This is what I would pay for. You know, this is what I would pay for all day long, you know? And I'm like, all right. So then you have to continue and you have to repeat that and you have to keep it, you have to keep it different. You have to keep it live each time. So.
Well, I think we both have said that we're noticing that there's seems to be a little bit of a change, and it looks like, we'll see what pans out after COVID.
Yeah, please.
But it's looking more and more like we're going to have a little bit of change of music's supposed to be fun. I'm the first person to tell everybody that, but some professionalism on everybody's side. So like in my line of work, also there's people that don't treat this professionally. And there's bands that do the same. So like
we're in the rock biz. We're in the rock biz, Don. We're in the rock biz.
I don't understand I don't know. I think it was inspiring to me even like right before the end of COVID to see some bands that are on their way up starting to act like rock stars. Like and not in the bad way, right? But like when you're a smaller band, you have to go out there. You have to socialize with your fans. You have to do all those things because you want to keep those people as fans. But at some point there has to be like this weird change where like suddenly you're not so social with your with the fans in order to keep them where they're going to maybe buy your merch or buy a ticket and not call you up and be like, hey man, can you get me in for free? That kind of, you know what I mean?
Right. Hey,
like
hey man, let me hold a sweatshirt. Can I get a sweatshirt for free?
Speaking of, hold on. I have a hoodie that came in the mail finally. Oh. Thank you, post office. It's not their fault. I feel bad for the post office.
They've been busy.
They got hammered. But I got this very cool hoodie. Oh, let's see if it is.
I don't know if we can see it. What's going on here?
No, see, it's the green screen.
Oh, there it goes. Right against you, it's working. There it goes.
Yeah, it's the green screen because, you know.
Yeah, because you got to
my head disappears sometimes too. So. But it's better than I don't like myself just having a wall behind me. I'd rather have that. So.
Right.
Get very still.
Stay still. Well,
I have no idea how to do that. My husband, everybody's giving me shit. If I ever like got tied up, I don't think I would be able to talk. I'm a hand talker. Anyway, so let's get on with the weirdness now, and we'll get back to
Lord, here we go. Okay.
Oh, you watched my interview with Neil. You know what's coming.
Neil, Royal Bliss, baby. What's up?
You know what's coming. All right, so you have
Neil, what's up?
You have gone out and toured. So what is the weirdest thing a fan has ever said or done? Don't name them.
Don't do this to me right now.
Come on, it's fun. I come up with things to ask people. Otherwise, it's just boring interviews. Interviews are boring otherwise.
Oh, Lord. This is where you get all your traction from, isn't it?
It is. It is. I try to be fun. It's fun.
Oh, boy.
I've heard some stories, too. Some interesting stories. I had one band tell me about getting breast milk shot from the ground onto the stage at them. Don't ask me why somebody thought that was a good idea, but apparently they thought that was attractive. There's some stories.
Who was it, Lil Baby?
It gets so weird, though. It gets weird. Yeah. Everybody with those Lils in their names.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You can, from now on, I want everybody to start calling me Lil Davy.
Don't start that, because then people will do that.
No, please don't do that. Jeez, I shouldn't have even said that. That was terrible news. No, so I, man, I've had so many weird things happen. I was on a Jägermeister tour in 2005. I want to say
you're aging yourself.
I know I just did that, didn't I? Anyway, so 2005, I was on a Jägermeister tour, and in fact, no, I was not on the Jägermeister. Well, I was, but I wasn't. I was on the Jägermeister tour 2004, I think it was, and then 2005, I supported it by going and following a group of larger musicians at all the radio stations here on the East Coast. And during one of those moments, I had taken a friend of mine by the name of Legree, and he and I set out on this radio tour promotion kind of deal. I was supporting an old band of mine, Third Class Passenger, and the band had fallen apart, but I thought possibly the band would get back together, so I continued on with the tour. It went on for about a month and a half, and I was all over the place, every radio station we could think of. In Washington, D.C., at a venue I was performing at, I vaguely remember, there was lots of Jägermeister back then, but we showed up a little late. Stage was done. We were ready to go. And when we arrived, the bar owner was so excited about everything that was going on. He brought out trays of Jägermeister and lined them down the bar and said, okay, here's the deal. If you guys plan on getting paid to do this, one of you start at one end of the bar, the other start at the other end of the bar. This was not a small bar. And we drank Jägermeister shots the whole way down till we met in the middle.
Oh my.
We did accomplish that feat. The bad news is that
did you vomit?
The projectile vomiting began, and I genuinely don't even know if we played the show. DC, I really can't remember.
Did you get paid though?
I don't remember that either. As we didn't receive the checks, there was received through management and all of them. So when we woke up, we were on the side of, I believe it's, if I remember correctly, is it 495? I think it's 495 around DC. Maybe 295. No, one of the two, whatever it is. And we're on one of the on-ramps, and we're pulled off to the side of the road. And I get woken up to these three kids on bicycles knocking on my window. And I wake up and go, what is it? And I'm falling asleep. I'm in this 18-passenger van. For some reason, I'm driving. Whoops.
Ooh.
But I don't even know that I was. Maybe somebody drove us there and decided these guys are wasted, leaving them. But I was in the driver's seat. I look over, and Legree had thrown up on himself. He had eaten tuna fish sandwiches, and so in his lap was completely filled with tuna fish sandwiches. And the three kids that were on the bicycles had seen us. They were kids, but they were standing at a window outside of the venue. They tell us that we're knocking on the windows. They said they've been looking for us all night, and they found us and knocked on the window and said, hey man, we love you guys. Knock on the window. He wakes up, and he's got a pile of tuna fish on his lap that he had thrown up. And he opens the door, and both of us fall out and throw up all over the street. And there's these three kids, and they're like, man, it's all good. It's all good, man. You guys sound great. And that was the weirdest thing I've probably ever seen. Somebody try to like tell us how great we sounded. I don't remember that we even played. And I don't understand why my friends covered in tuna fish. So it seemed pretty odd that somebody, three little kids chased us down and were telling us that we were rocking it last night. But I promise you, I have no idea of that, nor believe any of them. So.
All right, I'm gonna you're gonna tell me about what music I'm playing for you after this goes off. We will do this again for sure. You're fun. You're fun. We had a way longer conversation before the interview than the actual interview, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
For sure.
The whole point is to make sure that people know who the hell you are. So
well,
that
you're getting it honest, my dad used to say.
Make sure you tell everybody where they can find you so they can go follow your pages and all of that.
Absolutely.
I always beg everybody.
Yeah. So its website is davywilliamson.com. It's DAVYWILLIAMSON.com.
If you're watching this, you can read it right there, because
Yeah,
now it says his name. But when we first got on here, it didn't say his name.
now you're gonna call me. You're gonna do this to me, Don. You're gonna do this. It turns out it was Loverboy beforehand. Like right here.
It was funny. It was funny.
But it was a joke, and for another friend of mine, and then now all of a sudden,
it was funny.
it was. We had a lot of fun. So
it was funny. It's got to be.
Yeah, you can if you throw it as davywilliamson.com, you'll be able to find me there. If you were just to throw the name into Google, a lot of the other sites, Deezer, iTunes, SoundCloud, all that stuff, it pops up as well. That's the easiest way to search it out. And
also the single.
Thank you for listening.
The single will be on the Rock Goddesses playlist on Spotify. So if you want to go find the single to add it to your stuff, make sure you go follow the Rock Goddess also and go follow their single, because yes, I'm radio and I'm on the air all the time, but I also have a Spotify because
check it out.
Who doesn't have a Spotify?
Rock Goddess playlist is what I've heard, right?
That's it, the Rock Goddess playlist. Yep. So I will be adding that tonight. So if you guys are having a hard time finding it, it'll be there.
Check it out.
And then you can look at my very weird eclectic taste also.
I've heard a little bit about it, and I think everybody wants to see that.
It's funny because all of a sudden I'll have this weird thing pop up and go, hey, I don't have any of that on my playlist. Why don't I have that on my playlist? Let's go put that on there. And then I'll have 6 of them in a row because I remember. Anyway, I get on weird rolls.
That's good.
So tell everybody what we're about to play, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this song's called Thin Disguise, and it was recently recorded. It's the single from my upcoming EP, which is just labeled as my name, Davy Williamson. It's going to be a
week,
yeah, it's I think next week. Yeah, next week is I think the game plan. It should be out. If you don't catch it, it should be at least labeled as a pre-release. Please pick it up. Looking forward to getting to you guys soon and playing live and getting in front of the fans. So, rock on.
In fact, maybe one of these days we can work something out and we'll do something this way on here. Who knows? You know how to reach me now, so.
We can work something out, I'm sure.
Just don't get lost in my email again. That happens.
It did happen. So
you know what? I posted the funniest thing the other day, and everybody has commented, "Oh yeah, that's you." I said something about if I read your message and I didn't answer you, it's because there was a shiny object over there that distracted me.
You said that after the whole "you lost my email" thing, and I was
know, it's so funny because
so that makes all the sense in the world. So
as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's me, and everybody was like, yeah, you do that all the time. I'm like, squirrel.
I think everybody creative has that same bone in their body. So
well, see, but that's the thing is, I'm not creative. I just know how to find creative.
Get out of here! You're who comes up with those kind of questions you're throwing at me?
Weirdos. That's what it is. Weirdos. Us weirdos all have.
You're good at finding those.
I'm good at that. I'm pretty good at finding weirdos. No, actually, it's not a bad idea. Maybe one day I'll put out a podcast of all the weird shit I've done.
Maybe we do that. Maybe do that.
Maybe. All right, I'm gonna let you off here. We're gonna play some music, and
right on.
I'm gonna eat some dinner in a minute because I haven't eaten shit today.
That's a good thing.
Bad habit. No, the funny thing is I do that all the time. I'll get involved with stuff, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot to eat today. It's 9:00. Yay.
Yeah. I think it's.
It's only almost 8:00 here, so.
I think it's time for me to take my beautiful doggy out for a walk. So.
All right. I appreciate you so much. We're gonna knock out this music for you. And
you too.
let me see.